Hello everyone and welcome back to Maple Leaf Reviews. I'm Jeffrey.
And I am Jacob.
And today we're doing another before and after where we take a look at a game before and after our very first play, giving you our expectations and then first impressions. Today we're taking a look at Karuba, which is a Spiel des Jahres nominee and is why I picked up the game. So I'm going into it thinking it's going to be a good game. Obviously it got nominated for Game of the Year in Germany.
Definitely counts for something, right?
Yeah. So after reading through the rules and taking a look at the gameplay, I think it's going to be solid. I think it's going to be a very clean system. Not entirely sure how much I'm going to enjoy it, but I think mechanically it's looking very sound.
Yeah, I think I'm going to enjoy it. I think it's going to be a fun game for me. Probably, without playing it, I'm thinking I'm probably going to pick this one up as a gift probably for my family members who aren't hardcore gamers. I think their kids would probably like it as well, but I haven't played it yet. So that's just kind of that's where my mind's going right now.
Right. And I'm hoping that I'll enjoy it as well because I need more of those games that I can pull out with non-gamers.
Yeah.
Some easier entry-level stuff that with the family you can get together and play because my collection is mostly heavier games. Can't really get them out with the family. So that's what I'm hoping this one will kind of fill a niche in my collection.
Yeah. One of my concerns that I have with this game is because everyone's getting the same tiles and putting them where they want to, you could just do a copycat.
Right.
And just like perfectly mimic someone else. Is that going to break the game? Is that going to ruin the game?
I don't think so because I think people think that other people are dumb. And they're like, why is he putting that tile there? That's a dumb move. I'm going to put it here instead. So I don't think you'll get many of that. I'm just going to copy what someone else is doing because then you're just going to end up with the exact same score anyways.
Yeah. I don't know. It just seems like it's weird that a game would have that feature.
Right.
Have the ability to just do that. But I guess you could do that in a lot of games.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. Well, let's get it to the table. We'll come back and we'll see what we think after our first play of Karuba.
All right. See you guys in a bit.
All right, everyone, welcome back. We just finished our first play of Karuba, and the box says that it is a 40-minute game. We played a two-player game in 15 minutes for a first game. Now, I don't see that time increasing very much with multiple players.
Right.
Because everyone's
doing everything at the same time.
Yeah, so if you had 2 players versus 4 players, you're not going to increase the time a whole lot. But I can see the time going a bit longer if you had some people maybe with analysis paralysis, taking a long time thinking about every single placement.
Yeah, but even that, I don't really see it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think there's enough strategy there to get analysis paralysis.
Right.
There's, because the tiles are oriented in a very specific way and they have to go down in that very specific way, it's you can't rotate it and go, oh, well, if I turn it this way, I'll be able to put it here and chain things. No, it has to be this orientation. So that's either going to be useful to you or it's not.
Right.
Unless you want to make some crazy snake maze, which isn't going to win you the game.
Exactly. So let's we kind of got a little bit ahead ourselves in the gameplay there. Let's reel it back in and do the art and components for the game. I think that the art is, it's not elaborate, but I think it's good. It's fine. The components are nice, good cardboard quality, and the little gems are nice as well.
Yeah, I really like the quality. The gems, just little plastic things, they're okay. The art, I really like it. There's lots of detail on the tiles, on the player board, like the water, and there's birds flying around and all different types of foliage. Looks good.
Yeah. Rules and teaching. I think it's a very easy game.
Super basic.
Easy game to teach. You do one of two things. You either place the tile down on your board, or you discard it to move one of your adventurers.
Yeah.
Pretty easy. I think anyone can pick it up pretty simply, even if they don't have a background in games.
Exactly. I agree.
Theme-wise, did you feel like you were exploring an unknown island searching for temples and hidden treasure?
Nope.
No, not at all. I don't think so either. It's an abstract game.
Yeah, it just
100%.
felt like I was putting together a puzzle.
Yeah.
Trying to get a guy from point A to point B.
That's I didn't think about that, but yeah, it's exactly that. I'm looking at my tile. I'm like, okay, I have this puzzle. How is this piece going to fit into my puzzle?
Right.
So onto the gameplay mechanics, which we've already touched on a little bit.
Yeah.
So what do you think about your comment earlier about where you could just copy what someone else does?
I don't see that really happening. Right. Even the first tile that came up, we both placed them in different areas. Exactly. And from that point forward, it just went crazy and our boards were completely different.
Right. It's when you place one tile differently, then it just gets exponential in how you have to place them because I placed it here and he placed it there. This tile doesn't work in the same spot for both of us anymore, so it just keeps getting different, and then the more rounds that go by, the more different it gets.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because everything is exactly the same for all the players. The player boards are set up the same way.
Yeah.
You draw the same tiles in the same order. And I like this game because it's very interesting to see how differently people think.
Right.
Because that's all it is. It's how different you think about the puzzle versus me.
Yeah.
You know?
And I mean, I wasn't paying 100% attention to your board, like very eagle eye, but it looked like you started from the temples and worked back to your people, and I started at my people and started working towards the temples.
Yeah.
So that's another variation that you can take in strategy. I actually started off placing more central-ish on the board and then mixed the two combined, but
yeah, I definitely found that kind of was odd for me because I had a tile that I didn't want to place anywhere, but I didn't have any tiles connected to my adventurers, so they couldn't move.
Right.
So I was like, oh, I can't really do anything, so I just had to chuck the tile and do nothing with it.
Yeah.
And you don't want to just be randomly placing tiles on your board without a purpose because they could mess you up later. You're like, I actually needed that spot to go this way instead of that way.
Yeah, one of the first tiles, I was like, I have nowhere to put this. I can't throw it away because I'm not going to be moving my guys far enough to make it a substantial move. So I just placed it down in the far corner where it wasn't going to get used. So I was just like throwing it away anyways. Yeah. I probably should have just moved a guy instead of doing that, but yeah.
Yeah, so I like the game. I think it's not the game that I'm going to pull out all the time, but like 15 minutes for some actual thought processes and kind of a puzzle nature without having to spend 10 hours sitting down and doing a puzzle. Mm-hmm. I think it's a good game.
Yeah. One other thing I just want to touch on quickly was the setup for the game. I know one of my other concerns that I forgot to mention in the beginning was how the setup could potentially take some time because everyone's going through their tiles and setting them out in order, so you can see all the different ones, and as people are pulling them, or as the lead person is pulling them, you can find it easily enough. I thought that might take a little bit of time. It took like 1-2 minutes to set that up. It was not an issue.
I did want to mention, because I remember reading the rules, I'm like, okay, well, people have these set up around their board. Like, why can't they just have it in a pile and they pull the one they need? But as the person who was drawing the expedition tiles, it was really useful for me to look over at what you had available. So I had an idea of what possible tiles there were left to come.
Sure.
So I don't build myself into a corner thinking, oh, there's a tile like this that's coming. Oh, actually, I'm looking over. I'm like, okay, yeah, there's still 2 tiles that could work in this situation.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Yeah, so it is actually useful to have them all laid out for the person drawing the expedition tiles as well.
Cool.
All right, well, that's Karuba. Any final thoughts you wanted to add?
I'm very undecided on this. I don't know if I really like it. I enjoyed it. It was a fine game, but I don't know if this is one that I would buy for my nephew. But we'll see. I mean, it's going to take more plays at this point.
And it's pretty easy to get it to the table. Yeah, like 15 minutes.
Yeah, super easy.
All right, well, that's Karuba. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That helps us out tremendously.
Yep. Follow us on Twitter at MeepleLeaf, and in the description down below, you can go to Board Game Links, give us some hearts so people can find us and consume the content that we feed them.
All right, see you guys next time.
All right, take care.